Hello everybody, this is SuperFang99. Before we begin, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. It really helps out the channel. With that out of the way, today we're going to be playing the Circle Undone. This is the first episode. We're going to be going through the prologue as well as talking about our investigators. But I have a bit of a surprise for y'all. We have Daniel from the channel Quick Learner here. Daniel, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing really great.
Very nice. Well, this is so weird. My hands are here. His hands are here. This is like an in-person thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first one of these, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm hopeful that it'll go well.
It is the prologue, so, we get to screw up and learn about how to do this in person, too, so.
Indeed. All right, well, without further ado, we're just going to start by going into the campaign guide. We have some reading to do as well as a prologue, and then we will get ourselves going. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the most important rule in this campaign, an additional rule called Haunted. Haunted is an ability that appears on some locations. Each time an investigator fails a skill test while investigating a location, after applying all results for that skill test, that investigator must resolve all haunted abilities on that location. A location is haunted for the purposes of other card effects if it has at least one haunted ability, printed or otherwise. So it's basically retaliate or alert, but for locations. Pretty cool mechanic. We already know about alert and story cards. This also has a little blurb about the prologue investigators, but we will get to that right now. So, as always, we will resolve our campaign setup. We are choosing our difficulty level. We're playing on standard. Do you play a lot of non-standard, Daniel?
Almost never.
Yeah, I'm pretty much exclusively on standard. So on standard, we have a +1, 2 zeros, 2 -1s, 2 -2s, a -3 and -4. We have 2 skulls starting out, and then of course we have the Elder Sign and the auto fail. All right, and now we're going to read the prologue. Get ready for a bunch of reading. Sunday, November 22nd, 1925, Arkham, Massachusetts. Though All Hallows' Eve is nearly a month past, a grim melancholy lingers throughout the town. Each morning, a thick fog permeates the streets. Nights are beginning to grow longer, and if you ask around now, you'll hear people swear that it's getting darker too. But despite the gloomy mood, progress continues in the sleepy town of Arkham. The election of Nathaniel Rhodes to the United States Senate has upstanding members of the community feeling optimistic about the town's future. And tonight, at his well-appointed estate in French Hill, a man named Joseph Meiger hosts the Silver Twilight Lodge's Charity Gala, an annual members-only event that will turn deadly for several attendees. Each player must choose one of the following neutral investigators to control for the duration of the prologue: Gabriella Misra, Jerome Davids, Penny White, or Valentino Rivas. Throughout this prologue, you will play through the character's story and make choices that will determine their fate. Your choice of investigator has no direct effect on your standard investigator deck, though the results of the prologue will influence the story. Do not assemble an investigator's deck for any neutral investigator. Instead, gather the cards listed on its reverse side. These cards will be used in that investigator's unique setup. All listed cards are level 0 unless otherwise noted. And then we would cross off anyone we were not using. So, who are we playing today, Daniel?
I'm playing Jerome.
Awesome. Can I see him?
Yep.
So, this is Jerome Davids. So, he is Joseph's secretary. He has 2 willpower, 4 intellect, 1 combat, and 3 agility. As a reaction, when an investigator at your location draws a treachery from the encounter deck, discard cards from your hand with a total of at least 2 intellect icons. Cancel that card's revelation effect, limit once per round. And your Elder Sign effect is +1. Discover a clue at your location. That's pretty nice. And you have 4 health and 8 sanity. Your starting setup is, you're going to start in the office, and we'll get to this setup later. You're going to search the gathered cards for 1 copy of Nether Mist and Obscuring Fog, spawning the Nether Mist at the office and attaching Obscuring Fog to the office. You begin with 3 resources instead of 5. And your opening hand, well, you have nothing in your play area. So you have everything in your hand. Hyper Awareness, Mind Over Matter, etc. We will get to these cards as we go. But yeah, that's Jerome. How are you feeling about Jerome?
He's okay. I don't like the only some number of resources. What was it, 3?
Yeah.
But I think they're all kind of like that.
They're all kind of like that, for sure. I am playing Miss Penny White, Joseph's housekeeper. 4 willpower, 1 intellect, 3 combat, and 2 agility. Reaction: after you succeed at a skill test during a revelation effect, discover 1 clue at your location. I have true understanding. Limit once per round. Elder Sign effect: if this is a skill test during a revelation effect, you may take an additional action during your turn. That would be amazing. And I have 7 health and 5 sanity. I'm going to be starting on the balcony. I'm going to search the gathered cards for a copy of Wraith and a copy of Whispers in the Dark. Spawn the Wraith, engage with you, and put Whispers in the Dark into play next to the agenda deck. I only begin with 2 resources. However, I actually do start with some cards in my starting play area. Dig Deep, a knife, and a flashlight with only 2 charges left. And the rest of the cards are in my hand. Well, that's Penny. I'm pretty excited. I played Penny last time I played Circle Undone, and she did do pretty well. So that's pretty good.
What's your best on this one? How many clues did you get?
I've gotten all of them.
Wow.
So, not all of them. I mean, enough to do the thing in the second scenario completely. And I've also had everyone except for 1 get to the 7th Doom on the agenda.
Ooh.
So that was a monumental occasion.
I will say I'm very bad at this.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky. All right, well, we've chosen our neutral investigators. I've crossed off everyone else. So now onto some more reading, as it were. Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Meiger announces, raising a glass of champagne and a toast. A hush descends on the room until only the crackle of the fireplace and whispers of gossip can be heard. Allow me to welcome you all into my home for this year's charity gala. We have some very upstanding citizens here tonight, and I thank all of you for your hard work and generosity. Cheers and murmurs of agreement fill the room. Many of the guests raise their glasses to Valentino, one of the most esteemed members of the lodge this year, who sits at the guest of honor table, which is nearest to the fireplace. Joseph's assistant, Jerome, blends into the wall behind Joseph, discreetly checking his pocket watch. In another corner of the room, the head housekeeper, Penny, walks from table to table, filling empty glasses and collecting dirty salad plates. Each of you have done great deeds in the name of the Silver Twilight Lodge in our historic city, Joseph continues. Next year, we will continue to shoulder this burden and do what must be done for the sake of progress. Jerome steps forward quietly, interrupting Joseph's speech with the unassuming confidence that comes from years of trusted service. He taps Joseph lightly on his shoulder and shows him the time. I'm afraid I'm already out of time. Thank you all very much for attending. Joseph concludes, bowing. Polite applause rises from the audience, and Joseph walks briskly toward the parlor, followed closely by his assistant. 2 servants collect coats as latecomers trickle into the mansion, and Gabriella, Joseph's head of security, watches over the entrance with hard eyes and a clenched jaw. Has Mr. Sanford arrived? Joseph asks curtly, tapping his polished leather shoe on the floor. I'm afraid not, Jerome replies, flipping through the last pages of the estate's guest book. But he should be here any minute, Mr. Meiger. Good. I want there to be no problems whatsoever when he arrives. Am I understood? Joseph calls out to Gabriella. Make sure he is well protected. Gabriella nods, putting the handle of her .45 in her shoulder holster. Joseph turns his attention back to his assistant. And have Penny make sure the main course is kept good and hot while we wait for Mr. Sanford's arrival. Not a single slice is to be served without his presence. Not even for Mr. Rivas, sir, Jerome asks, glancing at Joseph over the rim of his thick glasses. Joseph pauses for a moment, considering. Pour Mr. Rivas another glass of champagne, and I'm sure he will not complain. Also, I'm still waiting on those accounts I asked you about earlier today. Don't forget, Joseph says, clapping his assistant on the shoulder before walking back into the banquet hall. Jerome nods obediently and heads upstairs. Soon after, the dark mist would appear, and nothing would be the same. One at a time, each player must proceed to the intro for their chosen character and read that section aloud. Do not read any intro for a character not chosen by a player. Once each player has read their character's intro, proceed to setup. So I think I'm going to have to read your intro because of how we're filming this, but...
Sure.
So we're going to start with Jerome over here. You carefully flip through the pages of Mr. Meiger's ledger, looking for the accounts he inquired about. You have served Mr. Meiger faithfully for almost a decade, and he trusts you with sensitive information. Like this. A point of pride for you. While you are often curious about your employer's business, you have never pried into his personal matters. Not until tonight, anyway. You adjust your glasses and lean forward as you turn to the page regarding Mr. Meiger's request. Some of the names on the list you recognize. Rivas, Gensler, Fairmont, Rhodes, Wick. but many are names you have never heard of before, let alone seen affiliated with Mr. Miger's work. Lindquist, Konstantinov, Magro, Atkinson, Lamar. Just how deep do Mr. Miger's connections go? Strange as they may seem, it is a list of names on the page afterward that raises your hackles. While it is clear that the names on the previous page are associates of Mr. Miger's, or at least prominent members of the Lodge, you can only assume that this next series of names is from people your employer is targeting. For what, you cannot say. You stand next to Joseph's desk and record the list in your pocket journal carefully, making sure to keep the names in the exact order they appear in Mr. Miger's ledger. You hope that your suspicion is nothing more than the absurd imagination of an overworked secretary. Still, something about all of this has you concerned. That and the sudden draft of frigid air that is somehow wafted into the room. Your gaze naturally drifts to the window, at which point you scream out in shock and lose your balance, stumbling backward into Mr. Miger's desk. Pressed up against the office window is a host of screaming faces emerging from the mist, or perhaps composed of it. Their ghostly hands press against the glass, and their eyes hollow and empty. Your reading glasses clatter to the ground and shatter under your heel as you scramble to the other side of the office. You don't realize that you dropped your pocket journal in the chaos until it is too late. Spooky. Penny. You sigh as the cool New England air embraces you. It has been a very stressful night. Stressful enough that you've decided to sneak away from the clamor to grab a quick smoke before heading back to work. You rest your arms along the metal railing of the balcony, your fingers trembling as they hold your cigarette. The dreary gambrel rooftops and Victorian manors of French Hill span the view below you, the unlit windows hiding countless secrets. You can't remember a night in which your employer was as concerned with every little detail as he is tonight. He is normally so calm, so collected. There is something special about tonight that has him on edge. Is it Mr. Stanford? A shudder crawls through you. For some reason, something about that man gives you the creeps. But Joseph has interacted with Mr. Stanford many times before. Sorry, Mr. Stanford, not Mr. Stanford. That's a different guy. So that cannot be the reason. What could it be that has Mr. Miger so worried? You are torn from your thoughts by the gathering of gray clouds overhead, swiftly blotting out the night sky. As the clouds grow ever closer, you begin to see shapes emerging from the vapor. You squint and lean over the railing for a better view. That is when you notice the true forms of the shapes in the mist. Their screaming faces, their clawing hands, all writhing in torment and coming straight for you. You cry out in terror and back up against the wall as the mist envelops the building. A spectral shape emerges from the haze beyond the railing, dressed in blood-stained rags. It begs for rest in a croaking, gasping voice. Your only hope for escape is to retreat back into the mantle and call for help. All right, and now we're going to go to setup. So, setup for the scenario is pretty simple. We're going to... Oops. Sorry about that, just knocked over something. Okay, we're going to gather all cards from the following encounter sets. Disappearance at the Twilight Estate. At Death's Doorstep, Inexorable Fate, Realm of Death, Spectral Predators, Trapped Spirits, The Watcher, and Chilling Cold. These sets are indicated by the following icons. Alright, so we have Disappearance Twilight Estate, At Death's Doorstep. I should read as well. When gathering the At Death's Doorstep encounter set, only gather the 7 spectral locations from that encounter set. Do not gather any of the other cards from that encounter set. So I've done that here. We have Inexorable Fate, Realm of Death, Spectral Predators, Trapped Spirits, The Watcher, and Chilling Cold. Put the 7 spectral locations into play. See suggested location placement below, which is going to look like that. Alright, so here are our locations set up as shown. And then we also did the little setup for our investigator cards. So for Jerome, we have a Nether Mist and an Obscuring Fog at the office. And for Penny, we have a Wraith at the balcony as well as the Whispers in the Dark next to the agenda. Put the Spectral Watcher into play. Where? In the entry hall, of course, which is over here. There you are. And each player follows the setup instructions for their back of their investigator card. We'll do that off screen. And we will shuffle the remainder of the encounter cards to build the encounter deck. And finally, just a little blurb they have here. There is no positive resolution for this scenario. Investigators should strive to last as long as they can and gather as many clues as they can before their inevitable demise. Note that while cards can still be added to the victor display during the scenario, experience and victory points will not be gathered in this scenario. Since these investigators do not have decks, ignore any instructions or effects that would cause them to draw cards or interact with player decks. Additionally, since the investigators do not have discard piles, each player card that would be placed in their discard pile is removed from the game instead. Good luck. You'll need it. All right.
Yay.
Yeah, I know. We're going to need it. So we're going to shuffle this encounter deck as well as get our rest of the player set up, and we will be right back. And we are ready to begin. So can you give me my agenda, please?
Sure. This one.
Yes. Our agenda, Judgment 10. There is no escaping fate. Hear the call and be reborn. Forced. After doom is placed on any card, each investigator must either take a damage or a horror, 2 damage or 2 horror instead, if there is 5 or more doom in play. Forced. When any investigator is defeated, that investigator must advance this agenda. To not remove any doom from the agenda when it advances. And we have no doom threshold. And we have our act, the Disappearance. Something terrible has invaded the home of Joseph Meiger. In the moments that follow, you scramble to survive. Forced, when an investigator is eliminated, place each of that investigator's clues on this act instead of their location. Objective, discover as many clues as you can before your inevitable demise. There's no way to advance this. I wonder what's on the back.
What's from the dark?
Yeah, let's do it. So, currently attached to the agenda, or not attached, set aside to the agenda, is Whispers in the Dark. Each location gains Haunted, take a horror, meaning that if we fail investigation there, we will take a horror, in addition to whatever other haunted effects there might be. Forced, when the round ends, discard Whispers in the Dark. That's nice. Can I have a scenario reference card as well?
Yeah.
We have 2 skulls, and we're playing on standard. Skulls are a -3. If you fail and this is an attack or an evasion attempt, resolve each haunted ability on your location. Yikes. That's pretty bad.
Yep.
Alright, so let's start with the office. Jerome's of the office. Where is this, please? There we go. The lone door atop the second floor staircase has rotted and decayed as though hundreds of years have passed. The once polished oak is now stained and warped. It could collapse at any moment. 4 shroud, 2 per clues. Haunted, choose and discard a card from your hand. A thick, oppressive haze fills what was once an impressive office. Cracks fork up and down the wooden paneling of the walls, and the bookshelves surrounding Yosef's desk sag with the weight of rotten, decayed books. Victory 2, which doesn't matter. Thank you. Additionally, there's an obscuring fog there, so it actually has 6 shroud right now.
Yay.
Yay. And we also have another mist there, which has 3 fight, 4 health, 3 evade. It's a monster and spectral enemy. Prey, investigator at the location with the most clues. It is aloof, and it has hunter. Also, the nether mist location gains haunted. Nether mist attacks you, so don't fail, please.
You think I'm going to investigate here?
Well, we'll see, I guess. All right, and Penny over here on the balcony. A shattered glass door leads onto the balcony outside the estate's master bedroom. 1 shroud, 1 per clues. Haunted. Each of your cards with health takes 1 direct damage. Clouds of dark mist loom above French Hill. Spectral shapes surround the balcony, moaning and writhing in torment. And I have a wraith on me. I think it's on the balcony, right? I think so. Yeah, engage with me. Oops. So, Wraith, 2 fights, 2 health, 2 evade. It is a hunter. Monster guy spectral. Forced, after it is defeated by damage, except from a spell or relic, instead of discarding it, attach it to its location. Attached location gains haunted, spawn it at this location, and deals 2 horror.
Did we talk about our opening hands?
Sure. Do you want to go for yours?
Sure.
What do you have?
I've got a bunch of stuff. Here, you can show them all.
Got a bunch of stuff, yeah. So he's got a hyper awareness, mind over matter, working a hunch, barricade, deduction, magnifying glass level 1.
Ooh.
Fingerprint kits, connect the dots, and 2 copies of curiosity. That's pretty nice. I have in my play area starting a flashlight with 2 charges, a knife, and dig deep, and then I also have a stray cat, lucky, another knife, another flashlight, 2 copies of After Desperation, and 2 copies of Able Bodied. All right, well, I think we're ready to begin, with one exception. We should probably read the Spectral Watcher. So, the Spectral Watcher, you are its prey. 3 fight, 5 health, 3 evade, Ancient One, Spectral Elite. The Ancient One already. Alert and Hunter, forced. When it is defeated, instead of discarding it, heal all damage from it, disengage it from all investigators, and exhaust it. It is not ready during the upkeep phase this round. So, it's going to be coming after us. All right, well, I think we're ready to go. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Let's see. So we've got a Shroud of 6 here, which is not gonna be a good idea to go after that. So I think we're just gonna play Working a Hunch.
Okay.
And remove this from the game.
Nice. You can just put it in discard
Sure.
pile.
Okay. So I got to spend 2 resources for that, and I get a clue. Then we're gonna move.
Okay. Oh, put it with you, though. The clue.
Oh, yes, we do need the clue.
We do need these clues. So the Victorian halls. The warm rays that once illuminated these halls have faded into beams of cold gray moonlight that shine through floating motes of dust and wisps of dark mist. 4 shrouds, 0 clues. Haunted, lose an action. A haunting stillness lingers through the frigid dead halls. The many paintings that adorn the walls have faded and become unrecognizable, and the metal statuettes flanking the corridors have completely rusted over. All right.
Well, I'm not staying there.
All right.
So let's move again.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go over to the trophy room for action 2.
Flanking this door are 2 rattling deer heads mounted on the wall. They stare at you with hollow, dead eyes. 2 shroud, 1 per clues. Haunted, lose 2 resources. For each resource you cannot lose from this effect, take a horror.
Boo.
Yeah. Rotting animal heads adorn this room's wood-paneled walls. Once a display of power and sovereignty, now macabre displays of death and decay. You cannot help but feel their empty eyes drill through you as you explore the room.
All right, let's give it a shot.
All right.
We've got a magnifying glass to play also.
Yeah.
And then a deduction. So, I don't know what we can see.
Oh, yeah, I'll give it that.
Sure. So I'm at 4, 5, 6
Yep.
to 2.
As a skull, which is a -3, so you succeed.
Yay, 2 clues.
Very nice.
My
Only
turn.
you had 4 resources on you.
Yes, I know, right? Okay. That should be it.
All right. As for me, I think I'm going to start by throwing a knife at this thing. Yeah. So we're going to discard the knife to attack the Wraith. We're currently 5 to 2. That is a -3. I will succeed. The Wraith will die, but will go underneath its location instead. And I think we'll probably just get the clues here as well. I could start with a stray cat as well. Yeah, we'll play a stray cat. And then we'll investigate with a flashlight. I'm currently 1 to 0. That is a -2. We will get a clue. Alrighty. Good first round. Enemy phase, hunters will move to the center, I think. Yeah. And we'll go to upkeep. No drawing, but we do get a resource. Alright. 1 doom on the agenda, please.
Mm-hmm.
And we each have to take a damage or a horror. I will take a damage.
1 horror for me. And a counter deck.
Yeah. Your lead?
Yep.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Reach. An obscuring fog.
Perfect.
Love it.
And my encounter card, please. Thank you. Is Shapes in the Mist. Okay. Oh, by the way, that should have been discarded.
Yes.
You can just put that next to the encounter deck. And resolve each haunted ability on your location. Each of my cards with health. Take a direct damage. No!
Not the stray cat.
Not the cat. Alright, that's a bit of a problem. And that surges. Into Trapped Spirits. Revelation tests 3 agility. For each point you fail by, take a damage. If your location is haunted, as an additional cost for an investigator to commit one of their cards, you must resolve the haunted ability. Well, that sucks. I'm going to spend... Yeah, we're going to spend 1 resource off of Dig Deep, because not committing cards. So we're going to go 3 all. No way out of that. So I will fail it by 3. Technically could lucky that to only take 1 damage. I wonder how I feel about that. Honestly, I think I might.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to spend 1 resource to play lucky. So I only fail by 1 instead. And I will take 1 damage as a result.
Brutal.
Yeah. That's tough. Please put that away. Thank you. All right, our turns.
So these guys are going to move.
Yeah. Who has the most location with the most clues? So that would be me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Although technically you're closer.
I'm closer, right. So I'm going to get out, though.
Yeah. Are you going to get all the clues? I mean, I'm probably...
Splitting up wasn't a great idea.
No,
but
probably not.
It would be nice to die over here, though.
Yeah, that's not bad. Why don't you go ahead, then?
Sure. We'll move to the billiards room.
From outside this room, you can hear the creaking of old wood and the patter of soft footsteps along the ground. 3 shroud, 1 per clues. Haunted. You must either discard an asset you control or take a damage. The game's room warmth and laughter have been replaced with a sense of quiet dread. The tendrils of black mist slither from underneath the collapsed billiard table, twisting and swaying along the floor in a formless dance. Victory 1. Which doesn't matter. Oh, 2 clues, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think I can just go book B Shroud here.
Go ahead.
But 5 to 3 isn't great because of those skulls either.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just start committing stuff.
Yep.
We got a hyper awareness.
Yep.
So 6 to 3. And
That is a -2. Did you succeed? Very
yay.
Nice.
And then we're going to go again.
Okay.
But
5 to 2.
this time just 5 to 2.
Sorry, 4 to 2.
5.
Oh, 5. You have a mechanical glass.
Yep.
That's right.
And a 0.
It's a 0. Very nice.
My turn is over.
All right. Doing pretty well. I think I'll use the last chart and flashlight to get this last clue. So I am 1 to 0. That's a 0. So we'll get a second clue. I don't want to move there because honestly, I might be able to just take the attention off the watcher. Is there any chance that you could get those 3 clues in the office at this point?
Shroud 6.
Yeah.
Um,
How good are those curiosities right now?
Bad.
Okay, well, and they're never gonna get better. So.
That's right. They're going to be just, perception and guts right now.
Right. It's not
Without
terrible actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want, I can take aggro because then, I mean, actually, it's gonna come to me regardless. So I actually might as well stay here. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can like sneak by maybe.
Yeah.
And then you can maybe go for that. So I'll just get set up then. I'm going to gain 2 resources and play a knife. That's my turn.
What a turn.
I know. All right, hunters. We're gonna have this guy go to me.
Got to go to me, though, right?
Investigator at the location with the most.
The
clues.
location with the most clues.
Yeah, so there's actually
Sure.
both equidistant, and then this guy comes with because we'll get to choose that as well.
Sweet.
All right, let's go to upkeep. Just a resource.
Yay. Doom?
Doom. I will take a horror this time.
I'll take my horror.
Kind of cards.
Now I've got the trap spirits.
Yeah.
I do have 3, and I can't commit anything because that would be bad. So let's just go 3 all.
3 all. It has an auto fail, so that's 3 damage.
Right on.
That's right.
I guess I could have canceled that, but I'll wait for something worse like the Watcher's Grasp.
Yeah. Crypt Chill. Sure. 4 all. I can. Well. Oh, okay, +1. I'll pass that.
Perfect.
Very nice.
So far no Elder Signs.
Nope.
And your ability is just if you...
If I succeed, so I would have gotten a clue here, but there are no clues here.
Okay.
I'm just going to go tango with these guys.
Sure.
I think. So I'm going to go to the master bedroom. The unmarked door is old and partially rotted, set in a quiet corner of the upstairs hallway. A thick, dark fog seeps beneath the door and wafts around your feet. 3 shroud, 1 per clues. Haunted. Place 1 of your clues on master bedroom. Tendrils of black mist have invaded every corner of this room, from the open balcony doorway, causing the furniture to decay and collapse. Every piece of wood and glass is shattered and warped. Nothing is untouched. Victory 1, which doesn't matter. And 2 clues, please.
Sure.
Okay, so this guy's still aloof. But this guy's engaged with me. That was one action. That lucky would have been nice. I think I'm going to... It's possible for me to deal it, to kill it next turn, actually. That would be pretty good. I'm going to attack with the knife. That puts me at 4-3. Ugh.
So strong.
Yeah. 1, 2... Okay, that's interesting. So I'm going to attack with the knife and commit this act of desperation. So we're going 6-3. That's a 0. So that deals 1 damage. That was important, though. So third action, I'm going to, after desperation, this flashlight to also go 5-3. Okay. We'll commit an able-bodied. I have 1 or fewer items, so this is an overpower. So that's 3 plus 4 is 7-3. Right? Yeah. Elder Sign. Woo! Not a revelation effect, unfortunately. However, that deals 2 damage, and then I'll kill the Watcher next turn, and then we can move on from that.
Cool.
Your turn.
Well, 1, 2, and is there any reason for me to stay here, lose an action if I draw Shapes in the Mist?
Yeah.
I think we'll just go all the way up.
Yep. We can make our last stand out there, I think.
Yep.
All right. Enemy phase. This guy's going to hit me for 1 and 1. Doing okay so far. And that guy's going to stay there because I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to upkeep. Oh, I'm sorry. I also should have gained 2 resources because of Act of Desperation.
That's right.
Yep. So I'll gain 3 right now. Okay. 3 Doom on the agenda.
That's not enough Doom.
No. I will, however, take a horror.
All right, I got 4 of 8 here.
All right. Counter cards. Ooh, that's bad. We got a Shadowhound. 2 fight, 3 health, 1 evade. Monster Spectral. Sorry, the light there. Prey lowest. Agility, Hunter Retaliate. After it attacks you, resolve each haunted ability at location. How's your agility?
It's 3.
Could be worse. All right, and I got another Wraith. That's a problem. 1, 2... Okay, I might be able to evade it. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'll start. So I'm going to discard this knife to go 5-3, and now I'm going to commit able-bodied for all 3 of it now, which is 8-3. Don't auto-fail me now. Yay. So we deal 2 damage because I discarded the knife. The Spectral Watcher is quote-unquote dead. And then I'm going to try and evade the Wraith. Currently, I have 2 all, so I'm going to spend 4 resources.
Dig deep.
Digging deep. That's a -3. We do get it. And then I'm going to move out.
Bye.
Bye. Alrighty, that's me.
All right, so I could... Man. So you're going to be on your way here next turn. So I think I'm going to take the evade at 3-1.
Okay. Yeah, next turn I can engage and evade it off you, if need be. You can try and focus on trying the office, I guess. Skull's a -3, so that does fail.
Okay.
Does not have alert, though.
Yeah, that's why I was probably just going to try again. We need to just survive here. If I miss this time, then I have other things I can do, but I think it's worth keeping the cards in hand.
There's another skull,
well,
so that's another fail.
All right.
Oh, also, sorry, was this was an evasion attempt, right?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. So you have to discard a card
Well,
twice.
sure. The ones I would have committed to this test to pass that test.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to have to commit some different stuff then.
Yeah.
Or get rid of. We're discarding a fingerprint kit for the first one,
Yep.
and I guess it's going to be this Minor Matter, which I probably should have used in the first place. All right, we're going to go again, but this time we're going to commit this barricade.
All right.
So now we can beat the -3,
Yeah.
but we're going to draw the -4.
We're drawing -4. This was going to happen.
All right, what are you?
That's a -2.
Ah,
you got it.
You know.
And
okay.
And we'll come back.
Comes back to me.
All right. Enemy phase. Now, this guy's going to come to me. And now we go to upkeep. This guy's going to ready. This guy's ready. And we get a resource. 4 Doom out of something. I would say out of something. But...
Yeah, so let's go do it this way.
I will take a damage.
I suppose I have to take the horror here.
Yeah.
And
card?
then an encounter card. A Crypt Chill.
Well.
I have a 2.
Yeah.
I mean, yep, I have a 2.
You have a 2. Skull is -3.
I always draw these. All right, see ya, magnifying glass.
Yep. My card, please. Thank you. And we have a Realm of Torment. That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, Realm of Torment put into play in your threat area. Forced, when your turn begins, resolve a haunted ability on your location. Forced, when your turn ends, test the real power. If you succeed, discard it. Unfortunately, it's not a revelation effect, so I won't be able to get a clue off of it. But
And you get hit and lose an action.
I do. So, I'll get hit. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I get hit, so I take 1 and 1, so I'm at 6 health now. And 4 horror. And then I lose an action. I won't be able to get that off. Oh, no, I will.
Is that a good idea?
Well, okay, so, I mean, you remember what happens in the agenda on the
Yep.
bad stuff, right? So, I think, how much horde... Okay, we can do this.
Okay, what do you got?
I am going to move up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll play a flashlight. As long as you don't die to monsters, we're fine.
I know. Well, we're just going to have to evade. Or you have to do your Realm of Torment.
Correct. So I am 4 to 3. -3. Nope. Go ahead.
All right. I got nothing. You can commit things, right? You have nothing in your hand.
Nothing in my hand. I probably should have committed that. That's my bad.
No, that's all right.
You're 4 to 6?
I am 3 to 1 on the show.
Oh, you're good at evade.
Yeah.
Got it. Oof.
I mean,
okay.
I'm just going to keep drawing the skulls.
Yeah, yeah.
There's only 2 of them, but they're both bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Curiosity goes.
Yep.
And then we try again.
Try again.
Mix up the bag a little bit more.
Yep.
And -1.
You got it.
Hey.
So you're not going to die to this monster.
Nope.
So that's good.
Not now. And then I have one more action.
Get a clue.
We have 4 to 6.
Yeah. You can get up 1.
I can commit both these cards.
Let's do it.
I'm up 1.
I believe. And if you get haunted, you can't lose a card, so that's good.
What a wacky scenario.
Yeah.
All right. Here you go.
It is a +1. Wow.
Amazing.
Amazing. We got one more clue than we should have.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put these 2 back.
Yep.
Not a doom, thankfully.
Yep. Here's your turn.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to enemy phase, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
So this guy is going to move up here. This guy is going to move here. Upkeep. This guy's going to ready. This guy's going to ready technically onto me.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get a resource.
I can use my resources for nothing.
Yeah. We are going to get 5 doom now.
Okay. So now we need to take 2.
Yes. So I'm dead, no matter what. Are you alive? You're alive.
I can kill myself.
Right, you could.
There's no
Because
reason.
I think this guy's going to cleave regardless, right? So it might be better for you to just kill yourself.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
what am I going to do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because also when I die, this guy's going to come right back onto you. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're
We're
dead.
both going to die.
Okay.
All right, so we have to read the back of this agenda.
Yep.
So I'm going to start with you.
Sure. So I take 2 damage.
Yes, so you die by damage. In the missing persons section of the campaign log next to the character's profile, make a record of the character's fate as follows. So, were you defeated by the Watcher? No. Oh my goodness. Were you defeated by the Watcher? No. Were you defeated by a monster attack? No. Was there 7 or more doom? Unfortunately, no. So, you were pulled into the spectral realm. And same thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's pretty much like the best outcome. Except for the 7 doom, of course.
Yeah.
But now nothing's bad's going to happen. Do you want to read the back of the act?
Nope.
Okay.
It didn't say to advance the act.
I know. I'm curious, though. I would like to see what's on the back of the act.
Okay, I guess we can
can turn this over.
We played Carcosa before.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Oh, God, what is this? All right, I'm just going to read it. Shadows twist in the ether's coil. The gate has led us all astray. Despair loathes a beating heart. Dead or living, we cannot say. Blackest throne in the void of space. She who signed knows the way. It smells your soul. It knows your fate. Its gleaming eyes hold us in sway. Record in your campaign log that you are being hunted. Hunted. Oh yeah, it's hunted. I just thought it was haunted. That'd be funny. Flip back to Act 1A. Anyway, I'm gonna go read that, but we need to read our resolution first. Everyone died. Mr. Sanford, thank you so much for coming. I know you are a busy man. Your presence at tonight's meeting is very much appreciated. Joseph shakes Carl Sanford's hand firmly as he speaks. Sanford merely nods. I know you've only just arrived, but I have some private matters to discuss with you, if that's all right. Joseph continues, his narrow eyes shifting back and forth between the men flanking Mr. Sanford. Very well. The elderly man nods to his two enforcers who step aside to give him privacy. He cradles his hand behind his back, his stature impressive for his age. His discerning eyes fall on Joseph. What is the matter? Joseph leans closer. It's here, sir. It's here in this very house. There's a quiet pause between the two men, and then Carl Sanford smiles. No experience is earned. In your campaign log, record X pieces of evidence were left behind. X is the total number of clues on Act 1A, the Disappearance. So, how many did you have?
I had that many.
So that's 6, and I had 2 more. So that is 8. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll write that down. Return each of the player cards back to your collection, and now we choose investigators and proceed to scenario 1. So, we're going to clean this up, and then we can talk about the investigators that we're going to bring to this campaign. So please.
We have never talked about them before right now. We followed the instructions and built them right after playing this.
Indeed. So don't go anywhere. And we are back. Okay, well, let's talk about the decks we are bringing today. Daniel, why don't you start? You're bringing a Carolyn Fern deck, correct?
Yep. So, Carolyn Fern, you can take a look at her.
Yeah, we have a nice fancy version. So she's the medic, 3 willpower, 4 intellect, 2 combat, 2 agility. After one of your effects heals horror from an investigator or ally asset that they control, that investigator gains a resource. That's pretty nice.
No limit.
No limits, yes. All right, and your deck... Oh, that's right. Your deck building, though, is very weird because you can get horror healing cards, 0 to 1, and then you also have some weird limits on Seeker and Mystic cards, I believe.
And only 0 to 3 Guardian.
Correct. And also no weapon cards level 1 to 5. Which I don't know if that ever matters, but we'll see.
Can't take the Runic Axe.
Indeed.
All right, so with Carolyn, we have a signature.
Yep. So we have her classic hypnotic therapy, and rational thoughts. So hypnotic therapy just gives her a way to heal stuff, and as well as healing additional. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then rational thoughts. Yeah, you have to heal it before you heal anything else. Or indeed, if you heal other things, it's fine. It's just they won't get the resource, right?
Nope, you can't heal anything other than from Carolyn, which would be from this.
Perfect. Okay.
And then a couple of permanents that are just here for fun.
Yeah. Talk about them.
Well, Shrewd Analysis is here for nothing other than it's a Seeker card.
There you go.
Down the Rabbit Hole is here, so I don't have to think about what I'm upgrading.
Nice. Solid.
All right, so we have a bunch of stuff to help Carolyn pass tests. So first we have, this is Arcane Studies.
Yep.
So spend the resources that she gets from all of those cool healing effects to pass tests.
Very nice.
Hawkeye Folding Camera also is a boost to those same 2 stats, Willpower and Intellect. And St. Hubert's Key is, the same thing, but in a horror healing card.
More stats.
And then we have some horror healing. We've got Hollowed Mirror, plus let's take a look at a Soothing Melody that it comes bonded with. So that will help heal damage as well. I don't really have much else to heal damage. More healing horror. We've got 2 copies of Liquid Courage. And
this card.
That can heal from other investigators, unlike basically everything else in this deck. Speaking of healing from things that are not investigators, Peter Sylvester will go for the upgraded one as well. So heals from himself at the end of the turn, and then you get a resource for doing that.
You can take Hollowed Mirror 3, right? Guardian level 0 to 3? Very nice.
Yep. And here's a cool thing to do with Peter is give him some horror and take a resource for that, and then take another resource for healing the horror.
Economy card.
So more economy. So that was all resource generation. We've got Empirical Hypothesis for card draw, which is going to be mostly for the upgrade, which is when you are dealt horror or damage, you get to put a evidence on this, and that counts for when an ally that you control takes damage as well.
Nice.
Card draw, 1 copy of Backpack.
Solid.
Ever Vigilant, more economy.
Nice. Are you planning to get 6th plan?
I am planning on doing that.
Nice.
That is the plan. More economy. 2 copies of Stand Together.
Economy.
All right, now we get to, what do you do with all the stuff that apparently we're drawing and paying for? We need to get some clues in this deck.
Indeed.
So 2 copies of Scene of the Crime, which will make more sense in a second. We have 2 copies of Connect the Dots.
Wild. I've never played this card.
It's fun. It's a lot of money, though.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple other interesting things. Close the Circle. We've got 1 copy of this. Again, we started with 3 XP.
Oh, that's right. You have it in the thick of it.
In the thick of it. And one of that is a Close the Circle. So remember the whole thing about taking cards from all the classes. Well, we can start doing that. And then we have a few cards dealing with enemies. 1 copy of Dynamite Blast. And 2 copies of Toe to Toe.
Toe to Toe is pretty nice.
And then our combo piece, especially for later, for getting clues, healing, and dealing with enemies in general, Power Word.
So how does that work with Mercy?
So, what's the question?
As in, how does Mercy work? I don't know.
Oh, okay. So if you're engaged with an enemy, you play Power Word, and then the damage or horror value of that enemy, you can heal a Investigator at its location.
Cool. So this allows you to get all 10 pips on it.
Yes, that's right. And then one last thing to deal with enemies, just in case. We have an Occult Lexicon, and that comes with, kind of hilariously, another... Where did I put these? Right there under here. Another bonded card, which is Blood Right, to deal with enemies and to get resources and draw cards.
Yep.
Because it's a secret card. It can just do everything.
And you'll have so much money that Blood Right dealing damage is not even a worry.
That's right. That's it.
Nice. You're not allowed to take upgraded Occult Lexicon, correct?
I'm not.
That would be amazing.
It would.
All right. Well, I am going to be playing a personal favorite of mine, Diana Stanley, the Redeemed Cultist. Mystic with only 1 willpower. What am I looking at? She, however, does have 3 intellect, 3 combat, and 3 agility. She also says gets +1 willpower for each card beneath her. Reaction: after a card you own cancels or ignores a card effect or game effect. If there are fewer than 5 cards beneath Diana Stanley, place that card face down beneath her. Additionally, draw a card and gain a resource. Limit once per phase. I love Diana. I love canceling stuff. It's pretty fun. She is our Mystic Guardian subclass investigator. And I also begin the game with a copy of Dark Insight in my hand, which I'll talk about now. It's a 2 cost fast card, fast event. I play it when an investigator at my location, so it could be Carolyn if she's at my location, draws a encounter card or weakness, which is, I never really realized I could draw a weakness, so I could shuffle your Rational Thought back into your deck if you wanted to. Cancel all of the card's effects and shuffle it back into its deck. Ultimately, this is a very good enemy management tool because I can cancel enemies. So that's also pretty nice. Alright, so for my deck, I'm going to be going down the classic Mystic route of taking 2 Arcane Researches because there's a lot of spells in this deck, and I would very much like to upgrade them. I, of course, have to take Trauma in order to do that, but that is okay. Let's start with some cancels. So I have 2 copies of Ward of Protection, 2 copies of Deny Existence, 2 copies of Dark Prophecy, which will cancel some tokens. I barely even use Dark Prophecy for its intended purpose. It's just, I play it, it cancels tokens, you're good.
Just to put it underneath Diana.
Indeed. Delay the Inevitable is pretty good with Diana, especially if I'm worried about taking too much damage. 2 copies of Dodge as well to cancel some attacks. And I honestly think that the Dodge might be pretty good against the Watcher. Maybe get away with some attacks of opportunity, etc. Alright, so those are my cancels. Let's start with some spells. We have 2 copies of Shriveling and 2 copies of Azure Flame, the classic damage suite for Mystics. I also have 2 copies of Enchanted Blade. Level 0, and especially at, first turns of the game, my willpower is not going to be very good, so Enchanted Blade should allow me to leverage my combat at the beginning of the game, as well as it's pretty reliable damage, so I like that very much. Additionally, I have 1 copy of Missile Verlier. This is most likely for the Watcher, and any other enemies that maybe I'm not drawing my spells I can use to evade and move if need be. Alright, on to some more spells. I have 2 copies of Sixth Sense. Diana is pretty good flex, so I brought in some investigation tools just in case she doesn't have anything to do, and Sixth Sense is a great card. Looking forward to upgrading that eventually.
Yes.
I also have 2 copies of Living Ink, which I have circled the willpower, so more willpower, yay. Additionally, I'm probably just gonna go with Subtle Depiction on this one, and then maybe if I'm being fun, I could do Vibrancy and have 2+2 willpower and -1 to everything else, because who needs anything else with the Mystic? All right, More willpower. 2 holy rosaries. It's more willpower. Okay, so for some economy, I have 2 copies of Uncage the Soul. Should hopefully play my spells for cheap. I have 2 copies of Arcane Initiate to hopefully find those spells. And I also brought 2 copies of Drawn to the Flame. Drawn to the Flame is very good in Diana because if she draws an encounter card, she might be able to just cancel it. And then she will get 2 clues either way, as long as she doesn't cancel the whole card, obviously. Yeah, good flexing. All right, I got some skills. I just noticed you have no skills in your deck. Is that correct?
No skills.
No skills. So I'm going to be the skill master today. Mm-hmm. So we have 2 copies of Take the Initiative. Very good Guardian skill. 2 copies of Steadfast. Those 2 stats are the ones that I like. So that is good. And also 2 copies of Guts because it is a good card. Lastly, of course, we have our signatures, Twilight Blade, and the Terrible Secret. Okay. Well, I think those are our decks. I believe we need to go generate our random basic weaknesses, correct?
I'm excited for that.
All right, so we'll be right back. And we're back. So we have a total of 36 weaknesses that I chose. Do you want to start?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to start with Carolyn's weakness. Here we go. Between 1 and 36. 22. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 18. 19, 20, 21, 22. You got overzealous.
Yes, again. I always get overzealous.
Oh my god. Somehow, oh god. Well,
I got this in Zoe when I played at BusterCon.
Wow.
I got this in whatever I did Carcosa on my channel.
Amazing.
Amazing.
All right, so I do have this to prevent rerolls, so we're going to roll again for myself this time. 5. That seems like an easy one. Hypochondria. Great. Give me more resources. After I take a damage, I take 1 direct horror. Well, I guess I got the easy end of the stick for that one.
Yep.
All right.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that's everything for this episode. Yeah, we can go straight into scenario 1 next time. Thanks, as always, Daniel, for joining me. You can find links to his channel in the description. And, yeah.
I'm ready to play.
Let's do it. All right. We will see all of you next time. If you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. It really helps out the channel. This has been SuperFay99, signing off.